Okay. All right, we live. We live. So we're gonna just take a few minutes to go ahead and share.
How
Hi
do you?
everybody.
Hi.
We are live. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Lexus, you got you shared and everything, you got it?
No, I don't know. Let me go. There we go.
Okay, okay. Hey y'all, hey, this is your girl Rita the Ham Norman here again with my this is my third show. Hey girl, hey. I got my one of my favorite people. Lexus, when did we meet? It was a couple of, it's it
Two
been
years.
years now?
It's
It's
been a
been some
couple of
years
years.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's been about like almost 4 years
Almost,
now.
almost 3 years because
Yeah.
yeah, almost 3 years.
So this is one of my most favorite people. I've grown to love her. She's like she's family. She can't get rid of me. I stalk her life all the time. But again, just if this is your first time joining, just want you to say welcome. Make sure you share. Make sure you support. I started this platform because over my career, I've met so many wonderful people in different avenues of just between social media, different lifestyles, different careers, and they have so many gems and just information to share. And I'm just so blessed to call them my friend. So tonight I call her the queen of LLC and trademark. I am so excited because it's something so major with the information that she gonna give when you are an entrepreneur or regardless of just running the business. So we have Miss Atlenea Beard, the CEO, the founder of Beard Admin Services. Also, because listen, Honey got many different businesses. Okay, you talk about somebody that put in that work. She's also the founder of one of the bomb celebrating women period, which is Pretty Women Series Apparel. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. Hey girl, how you doing today?
Hey, girl. Hey.
I've been stalking her life since we.
Hey, I love the stalking. It's pretty cool. I told you, you stuck with me forever.
Right,
It is
I
what it
promise
is.
you. I promise you. So we got Carlos in the building. Your partner in crime, my cousin, my
Hey,
unicorn,
DJ
Diaz
Love.
is in it. Coach L. She just Coach L. Listen, she's top of the year next year. Like we gonna go a lot about my story and stuff, but that's to come. But I ain't even gonna get into that. Hey y'all, hey cousin, how you doing? But first and
Hey,
foremost,
y'all.
before we jump in, one of the major things that I'm just so excited, and I told you I'm bragging on you today, girl. 10 years. You have been out of corporate America doing the damn thing. See, and I said I was gonna say the F word, but I said I can't. See, cause I'm growing. I'm growing. I was gonna cuss. You know what I'm saying? But 10 years, congratulations that you have had Beard Admin Services. You just celebrated 10 years of service this past October. That is such a major accomplishment. It is something that a lot of entrepreneurs do not see because most entrepreneurs, like me and you, I was talking to you about this earlier, like they don't even make it through their first year of business. Like, so to make it
Absolutely.
10 years, how does that feel and how did you celebrate?
Well, thank you first of all. Thank you. I appreciate the love for that. I'll tell you one thing. I feel amazing about it. Like it's surreal because
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for so long that I didn't even realize until something came up in my Facebook memories to remind me that I've been in business for 10 years. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, it is October. So, with the whole pandemic and everything, time just kind of gets away from you, even though I've been working, been blessed to been working throughout the pandemic. time just get away from you for the little things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it feels really, really surreal. When I left corporate America, I was, doing some contract work for small businesses as a 1099 employee. And I didn't really formate my business yet. And the very last contract I had motivated me to actually start. So the day my contract ended for that, I actually went down and filed my paperwork. I was motivated. I went and filed my business paperwork. My brother, who was no longer with us, he really pushed me and encouraged me. We had a good conversation, and it just went from there. So I started off doing like a whole bunch of different things, and then I narrowed it down to what I pretty much do now.
Okay.
So I literally started off doing everything that I learned in corporate America. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a lot, because not every business really needs that's more on a corporate level. So I had to
Right.
really learn the difference of being like a single person, small business entrepreneur, as opposed to working in a corporate setting. So with that being said, it went, and I had my friends were my first clients, my family members were my first clients, and then I just started getting referrals and referrals and referrals, and it just went from there. Over the course of time, I learned a lot of different things, took a lot of different classes, refreshed myself a lot, and that's how I became to adding the services that I offer now. So October was a blast. I celebrated all year. All year. Look. All
Listen,
I,
you too.
I celebrated all October. I went live every single Wednesday, had some fun. We had a drink. I toasted up. I was, a little bit unconventional, not unprofessional, but unconventional. I'm professional every single day when I'm working.
Right.
So for my 10-year anniversary, I decided to just be me. Entrepreneurs are still people. I still like to have fun, and it was a celebration. So I toasted up. I went live every Wednesday. We did some trivia. I gave away some super dope prizes. And
Mm-hmm.
then we had a raffle, a 10-year raffle, where you either won a trademark, all-inclusive trademark and services, or you won the package deal. Then we had the trivia. So we
Mm-hmm.
had the scavenger hunt. It was a scavenger hunt that you had to visit my pages prior to now to find the answers, over 10 years worth of answers, questions and
Oh
answers.
wow.
So it was a fun scavenger hunt. And the person that won an LLC package. So that turned out to be super, super dope. And I'm still actually posting videos from some congratulations. I'm going to actually close the year out when I go on vacation next week with those videos. So including
Dope.
you, which thank you. I appreciate the video. Super dope.
I was geek.
Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it feels surreal. I'm proud of myself. I'm waiting on that next 5 years. Why do the 15 year?
That I mean, it's a phenomenal accomplishment. I'm so proud. I've only been again, well, we've only been knowing each other for 4 years, and I feel like I've been there the whole 10. Like I am so proud of you. Like everything that you do and how you help me and my sister with our companies and the things that we're doing, and so much that we have learned, and all like you are my go-to person when somebody come and be like, oh, how do I do this with this? Oh, you need to talk to Alexis. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you. Listen, go right to her. She do everything. Like, you give a phenomenal service, which we're about to get right into. Hazel is in the building. Hey, girl. And
Hey, Hazel.
Dina says, speak on it. Coach L says, speak on it. So, for the ones that don't know,
Mhm.
what is Beard Admin Services? What are the services that you do offer?
So, Beer Admin Services is a full service business startup service company where we provide LLC startup, anything for business basically, whether you want to be a LLC, an incorporation, a sole proprietor, or just start something as a DBA. Also, we do nonprofit startup, which helps with everything from start to finish to start up your nonprofit to become a legit charitable foundation or nonprofit. Also, we do trademarking services that goes for the states and for the international through the USPTO office. I also host entrepreneur workshops. Prior to COVID, it was in person, and then we, continue to do it online. So I've hosted online workshops for entrepreneurs as well. Also, I do proofreading and editing for self-published authors. So that's something that a lot of people don't know that I do. That's a service that I offer. I also offer business coaching. So if you are in business and you have all your paperwork, but you just need some help, then I can offer services as a business coach or give you some business advice. Or what do you think you need to be doing? And I also have a journal book that I created with this company. It's a journal book that I created strictly for entrepreneurs. It's called Entrepreneur Chronicles, the guide to staying sane as an entrepreneur. So that was,
That's a whole nother conversation by itself.
I know that was something that I wanted to create. As a child, I've been writing journals, and it was a great form of therapy. And I had to figure out a way to stay professional and stay sane, being an entrepreneur, because some days you really just want to go off, you want to tap out, you hate it, you want to give up. It's like, forget it, I don't even want to do it no more. I'm 10 years in, I'm done. So I created the journal for entrepreneurs. It's like an entrepreneur diary. And what the entrepreneur diary is you can write in there about your whole day. You can talk smack about the client you hate. I'm just put it out there. I told you, entrepreneurs are real people.
The thing is that being in a service-driven career, and there's many service-driven career outside of what you're doing. Everybody done had that kind of client to where you just got to go home and you just got to woosah and you need to release.
Yes, absolutely. And that's even with a regular job.
Listen, it's sometimes it's more serious than that them 40 hours, because them 40 hours you close your computer and you go about your business.
Absolutely.
What you say, I ain't know you doing editing out here.
Yes. So I'm not a publisher though. I just want to make that very clear. I just edit books. So what I do is I take the book and I go through literally page by page, line by line. I read the entire book. I correct the punctuation, format it, and make it pretty. So when the readers are reading it, it looks very professional. You're not out here looking crazy, because sometimes it's easier to self-publish than to actually hire a publishing company. Because they are more corporate. It's a whole lot of cheaper, and it's a whole lot more yours. Because you get into publishing companies and then they want to change everything around. It's corporate, and sometimes you might want to talk Ebonics in your book because you want to appeal to your reader, and that's okay.
Right.
So, but I know how to make it where it just blends right in.
Okay.
Where it doesn't, So yeah, proofreading and editing is my thing. I've always been a great writer, and so that was like my first passion, to do writing. So that's where that came from. So that's just a service that I offer. I also offer contract services as well. So if you are a person who needs contracts written, I'm a very stickler person on contracts. I love you to death, but if you don't sign my contract before we do business, we don't do business. I don't even want $1 from you, a penny. Don't give me anything until you sign my contract.
Please.
Yes, you must sign a contract when we work together. so yeah, I do actually.
Not worried.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Jump right there, people. Run your contract. Don't shake my hand. No. Facebook. Yes. No. I don't care about Facebook. No. Run me my contract and thank you.
Absolutely. So I do write contracts also as well. So that's pretty much what Beard Admin Services is doing. We got some things in the works that's coming up. I want to tell you guys, but I can't. Maybe the next time when I come on the second time in the new year, you guys will be.
Most definitely.
Maybe you'll get the exclusive. Maybe.
Oh, okay. I'll take
maybe.
It. And I thank you. So we got Stephanie. Hey, girl. My mom is in the building. Hey, mom.
Hi.
She said, "Hey, girl." She gave you a crown. I love my
Hey.
So let's jump right in. So one of the main questions that I do want to most definitely start with, so people can get a very good understanding are the first steps that they should take to honestly legalize their business?
So first, I like to jump back a little bit
Okay.
when we're talking about business. This is one of my trivia questions um, during my 10-year anniversary to
Mm-hmm.
win a prize. What are the first two things you need to do before you start a business? You need to come up with the idea of the business and you need to come up with the name. You cannot move forward without those two on anything first. So if you don't have a name and the idea of what the business is going to be about, then it's null and void at that point. Then after that, I always suggest trademarking. So trademarking is something that is very, very important because after you come up with the name, you want to research it, you want to make sure it's available, and you want to secure the name and then move forward before you drop it.
So with
Because
with the trademark, what is some reliable sites that they could be able to go to check to see if the name is available other than Google?
so they can other than Google, you can actually I mean I know
Because you
Google
know
is a
that you
thing.
already know, Lex. They'll be like, "Oh, I googled it. I ain't see
I mean,
nothing."
Google is a very, very strong engine to use.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Google is dope. Google is very powerful, but you want to go beyond that. So even if you do use Google, you can search it on all social media platforms. You can search it on within your state, whatever your Secretary of State is, which is is recommended. And then I would recommend that you go to uspto.gov and you do that also. If you don't find it there and you think you may have missed something, see if you can retain a trademarking attorney who does research, and they'll do the search for you because their broad goes a little bit farther than the searches that we can do blindly.
Right.
So doing that is a good way. So Google, social media, the Secretary of State, whatever state that you live in, and then the USPTO .gov, which is the United States Postal. I'm sorry, I had some issues with the post office. I'm
It's a lot
sorry.
of people having issues with
It
post office.
is. I'm so sorry. The United States Patent and Trademark Office. That's what you want to go to really do a broad search to see if the name is available. If it's not trademarked, I'm sorry, it's fair game. It's fair game. So that beautiful idea that you came with, that sentimental idea that you came with,
Mm-hmm.
that might mean something with your mom or your grandmother or your father that passed away or any of that thing, you might want to go check it out first and get it trademarked first. Then you move forward with the process of becoming a legal entity once you
Okay.
secure the name. So then you can go and you can purchase you can purchase the domain name. So I know we talked about that. Um, and the domain name is fine as long as you're trademarked. It doesn't matter if you get the domain name if you're not trademarked because now you just own a domain name. That means the person that has it would have to do something different. So after you do the trademarking, then you go and file your legal paperwork, which is either the LLC, the sole proprietorship, or the incorporation or the DBA.
Mm-hmm.
After that is approved, then you go and you file your EIN number. Please, please.
I got a couple before we get into the EIN number because we had a nice little conversation earlier
Yes.
about that. Dina, we have Gillespie in the building. Thank you so much for joining. Dina wants to know. Oh, then we have Shylin say, "Hey girl," we got Barb in the building. We got Kendra. Thank you guys all for joining. Dina wants to know
Hi.
what is the average cost for trademarking?
So the average cost of trademarking, if you use my firm, I'll just put it out there. I don't know if you want to. It depends on the state, so it varies from state to state. If you want to go ahead and do it yourself here in Chicago or Illinois, then the average cost is probably about, I would probably say a little bit under $50. The application fee is like $10 by itself, but then you have to send in specimens. So that's another thing that you have to create and print out. That might cost you some money. And and it has to be a paper application to be sent in here in the state. So I use UPS. I don't trust the post office. I don't trust the post office. I'm sorry. Nothing against postal workers. If you're a postal worker, no pun intended. I'm sorry. And this is before the pandemic. So I stopped using the post office when I'm dealing with client paperwork a really long time ago. But I use UPS, so that could cost depending on how you want to send it. So you're looking at about maybe 35, $40. Um,
Okay.
Um, and with the United States, well, with the USPTO office, that can vary as well, depending on how many classes you need. Then it could be anywhere from 225 to 275. And then each additional class is 150. However, they did send out a bulletin that the prices will be going up in 2021. So I don't know how much more it will be. So you may be looking at a pretty penny, but
So pretty
it's
much
a
contact you before you go on vacation. Just
pretty much. Pretty much. My firm, I mean, it could get a little expensive when we're doing the USPTO, the international trademark, because it's really a lot of work. It's
mhm.
really a lot of work. There are no room for errors. The process can take up to 1 year for that to be approved. It's a lot quicker in the state when you're doing state level trademarks. So again, it varies in certain areas because, like in Pennsylvania, their trademarking is $50 off top.
Mhm.
California is $30. So it just depends on where you live at, how much it costs, and how much you need to spend to get the specimens in to be approved.
Right.
So yeah,
I mean,
the cost varies.
it's a process. Me and my sister
Yeah,
has been through it. It's a process.
it is
You
a
have to be
process.
paid. You do have to be, and I'm only speaking from personal experience because I know for me, I love your service because of the fact that you're so hands on. And anytime I have any questions or I'm like, Lex, what else is it that I need? And also like you give us those reminders like when it's time to reminder, especially for a person who can be all over the place like myself and you just have a lot going on like that part of your service is phenomenal. And then we have Dolly in the building. Hey Dolly, I'll be seeing you next week, honey, for my haircut.
Hi.
Girl, hey, I love her. She's my favorite. We have Craig Perkins. Hey Craig, thanks for joining. Candace Yarbrough said blessings. Thank you,
Thank you.
Candace. So to go back to this wonderful EIN number. Um,
So,
I
so
have.
the
I just want to tell just a quick story, and then you can jump into it. You hear a lot of people be like, they just want to. They start their business and they say, "Oh, I own it. I bought the domain, and I got my EIN number." And I'd be like, "Oh, I can still run up and buy all your stuff. By
absolutely.
your whole
Listen.
name." Please explain to them the difference and
So
why
the
the EIN is the
so
last part that you need to secure
okay.
before.
So there are several reasons why I do not recommend that you do the EIN number first,
Mm-hmm.
because first there is the name of the business. Remember we talked about the name of the business.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide that you want to be a sole proprietor and you filed your EIN number as an LLC, then that's not a good thing. Because now you're in a different tax bracket and you will have to go and try to switch it. It's really not easy. See my face? Not easy to change, not easy to change an EIN number. Okay. The IRS does not play fair when it comes to those things. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
be very, very careful of that. If you decide to become an LLC and you file your EIN number as an LLC, but you leave off the LLC when you go to the bank, and those papers don't match, the name doesn't look the same, you will not be able to open a bank account. They will deny you. So
Okay.
that's first. The main thing about it is you have to remember what the EIN number is. issued through the IRS, which is the government, which is Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Sam is where
This
you pay
part.
your taxes through, right? So if you pay your taxes and you are creating this document that's a tax document, now you're on the hook to pay taxes for a business that does not exist. So if the business doesn't exist, what are you paying taxes on? Not to mention your social security number is connected to that. So now you're in the system as woke, like, oh, that's another income from this person. And then if you have an EIN number for, let's say, 3 years and you don't file taxes, what if they decide to audit you? And then you don't
Ooh.
have a business to even show for it. So there's a part on there that people don't read because they just go clicking and go to the next one and close out. The next thing that I don't recommend is that you do this because it's falsifying information. They ask you, or is this to your best knowledge before you click send or close out of it? Yeah. So that basically you putting down a business that don't exist. So you lying. You,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to do that. And
At
I
all.
really feel like the IRS should not be in your business until you're ready for them to be directly in your business. You know, when you get into dealing with politics, we won't get into politics, but you know, the smaller people usually get hit the worst. I just
Right.
put it that. So you definitely don't want to be on the hook for taxes for a document that for a business that don't exist. So think about that before you create an EIN number. And then suppose you start a business and you change the entire name. Uh, then what? It's just dormant. But they decide to audit you. The business don't exist, and you falsify information. After they ask you, is this true to your knowledge? Whatever the little fine print say, because a lot of people don't read things anymore. So, that's a whole different story too. But so those are my reasons why you shouldn't do an EIN number before you do your business entity. Um, and suppose you do it and go back and try to file your paperwork and the name is not available.
Right.
Then now you still don't have it. So
And
it's just
pretty
it's
much you're
just a
gonna
lot
have to
to think
just
about.
completely start from scratch.
Exactly. So it's a lot of different reasons why you shouldn't start with the EIN number before you file your paperwork, your entity paperwork. So, um, so those are my reasons why, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So those are my reasons why with the EIN number. And
And
then
then,
after you do
mhm.
the EIN number, you must register with your state Department of Revenue. You don't get off from the state with that. People do not realize that. Okay. You have to pay the state that you live in too. They have a
Right.
Department of Revenue where you have to register for your tax ID number for them to be able to tax you on a state level, and that EIN number taxes you on a federal level. You need both. You need EIN number when you file your taxes at the end of the year too. Even if you file a Schedule C, you need that EIN number. So those are the things. Those are my rules. Those are my.
Now, when it comes to the state tax, does that count in the states like where I'm at in Florida where we don't pay state tax?
You pay state tax on business.
Oh well, there you go.
Every
There you have
state.
it.
I have not worked with any states. I haven't worked with all 50 states. I've worked with a number of states
Hmm.
that it was always the Department of Revenue. The some charge you.
Hmm.
To Indiana charge to file. Illinois don't. So it varies by the state, but they want to be able to tax you on that business. Oh no, you definitely not gonna run no business in the state not getting their cut. Oh, so these, so those are some of the things that you need to worry about.
Hmm.
Even when you do nonprofit, you have to register your business in the state for nonprofit, and you have to register with the Chamber of Commerce, if depending on what type of charity you have. So it's a lot
Correct.
of different steps to this process. People just miss out on that, and they end up owing taxes. And the state of Illinois is very petty, so they will take the money some kind of way to get their money.
Oh, most
So
definitely. They're
so
gonna
yeah,
get their
so
tax.
that's my take on it. That's my professional opinion.
Well, we most definitely appreciate that professional opinion, because I think that it's a lot of people who go and they just jumpstart and they don't do their research, and then they'll go ahead and they just get their they why can't I talk right now? They'll just go and they'll get their EIN number and then start running their business, and which
No.
can pretty much backfire on them in the end. Hey, Nichelle. Hey, girl. Thank you so much for joining. Carlos says facts. Thank you, sir. Most definitely facts. One
Oh,
other
thank
question.
you.
One other question I have is in reference to a lot of people get a lot of confusion when it comes to LLC, because there's different versions that you can pretty much apply for. So can you provide them just a little bit of information in reference to that?
So with the LLC, there's a limited liability company, then there's a limited liability partnership, then there's the LLP, which is a limited liability. It's like a limited company for professionals. So if you're like a lawyer or you open in a doctor's office, there's a different type of limited liability company for that as well. And then there's the LLC series, uh, which is for a person who wants to start multiple corporations up under one umbrella. So the LLC does create some protection from liability for your personal assets. So if you are an LLC and say a person decide they want to sue you, right? Then you can go ahead and they can sue the business. 9 times out of 10, depending on how bad it is, I don't know, depends on the courts too. That your personal assets are protected from the business assets. But that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's very, very, very important for you to get insurance in place for your business. I don't care what type of business you have, you should have insurance in place for it. Even if you're a consultant like me, I still have insurance in place for the business. So those are some of the things that you want to do. So I love incorporation. It gets a little tricky with incorporations because you have to worry about stock, and it's a different tax bracket when you're dealing with employees and things of that nature.
Mm.
Incorporations is more for people that has investors, and stuff like that. If they want to ever go, take it public right away as the IPO. So those are
Mm-hmm.
different. Sole proprietor is just a sole proprietor. You basically filing as yourself. So you like a one person show, but it does not cover you from liability at all.
Now, when
You
you
are
can start an LLC and then go into an incorporation.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can always change your entity over, even if you become a single member LLC or a multiple member LLC or manager LLC. You can always switch to a series if you like. So with the series you can create a parent company, which is whatever the parent company you name the parent company, and then under that you can create multiple businesses under that as subsidiary businesses. They can each do something different. They're each separate liability from the other one. So if one business gets sued, it can't be touched with the other business. So you're covered that way as well. And again, with that, you need to make sure that you have insurance in place. Please, it's a must. I
Insurance,
don't.
insurance, insurance. Just like for your life, you need something for your business.
Yes, just saying.
so, so my next question would be, what would be 5 things that are must-haves, or that are must-have that you would suggest for an entrepreneur to have in place in order to for them to run a successful business, and especially, let's say, within that, because you pretty much in the red that within that first 2 years or so. So what would you
Mhm.
say would be the 5 things that they should most definitely have in place, or that they should have, so that they can be able to make it past that first year?
So the first thing you really need to have is a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even speaking of a business plan. You need to have a plan. When I teach my entrepreneur workshops, when I host my entrepreneur workshops, I always have 5 different questions that people should ask themselves, which is why. Why do you want to start this business? Where are you going to start the business at? How? How are you going to start it? You're gonna use your work money that you're working for. You're gonna get loans. You're gonna get investors. When is the great time to start it? Do you have a family? Is your husband gonna be okay with you taking away from time from him? Is he gonna help you with the responsibility of these children? So it's a lot of different things that you need to ask
Support
yourself.
system.
Yes. So those are some of the things that I ask before we even move forward with the rest of the information in the workshop. And then after that, the business plan is a must. If you don't have a business plan, please create one. Even if you already in business, go back and create a business plan. Revisit that. It's not just for funding. You need to
Hmm.
have some type of outline on starting a business. So please start a business plan. If you need some help, get some help with it. I know the projections is a little crazy when you get into the numbers at the
Right.
end when you're trying
It
to
can be
get
scary.
what
It
you
can.
yeah
It,
when you're trying to project a
I'm
one
in
to
my
5 year
scary point right
projection.
now. Like, whew.
Yes, so I think you need to have I recommend people get a planner, a physical planner. So I'm old school and new school. I can do both. I love technology. It's so convenient. It's lovely. However, technology is not bulletproof. It's not
Hmm.
foolproof. It crashes. It breaks your phone. You don't want to have too much stuff in your phone too because you got hackers. If you lose your phone, people get in it. You got sensitive information in there. And then sometimes you just like me have a lot of clients. You write down everything and then you can go back and reference it. So every time you
Right.
create an appointment on your phone, put it in your planner so that you can go back and reference that. Maybe you can't get to your phone. What if your phone died? You got the planner. You got
Right.
the planner as backup. Just go hurry up and grab the book, carry it with you everywhere. Update it every year, get a new one. Whatever the year is, get a new planner. So
Right.
and that in between that we talked about earlier is the Rocket Book,
Hmm.
which is something that's really, really dope that I do
I
use.
downloaded that today. I was like,
So it's an app that you can use called Rocket Book, or you can purchase the actual Rocket Notebook. You can write in there. You can write as many times as you want. You can scan the barcode in. It goes to a cloud. It saves all your handwritten notes, and then you can erase it and use it all over again. So that's a really cool gadget. That's my only exception in between those two that
I mean, you
I would
you got to go
use.
with
So
a little bit on the modern times because most people are like, right, paper. Who has?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So we have
You can
Priscilla. We have Priscilla in here. Carlos said, "Great point." My niece Malaysia in here.
Carlos.
Maxie said, "Can you can't? What did she say? Can you cancel an EIN number?"
You can cancel an EIN number, but you will have to call the IRS. So you can change the name on a EIN number. You can change the business entity type on the EIN number. You will have to call the IRS and be on hold literally for an hour and a half. It's suggested that you have a fax number because they don't do anything via email. They're not emailing you anything. So you might want to have a fax because they'll fax you something. A
Hmm.
lot of people, I was talking to a young lady a few days ago and she didn't even know what a fax was. So
Oh my
listen.
god.
But you can use eFax where you can actually get it done electronically. So you can create an account on this site called eFax, efax.com. It's something simple. I suggest you have a fax number when you're talking to the IRS. Give them your fax number. Let them send you your documents. Otherwise, they will mail you your stuff out. It could take 7 to 10 business days to get it, and then depending on the post office if they deliver it. So there lies another problem. So
The
I'm
backs
just
at the
saying.
post
So
office.
yeah, we just have a lot of problems. It's just they'll get it together though. I really believe they'll get it together. That's one of the strongest systems out here. So hopefully they make a comeback. But um, so you can cancel an EIN number. You can do a lot of things with the EIN number. You can change the address. You can add the LLC, change the entity if you just want to be bothered with hanging on for an hour and a half to talk to them. So that's why I say
So
get a
just pretty
fax number.
much make a date with the IRS and y'all,
Yes, basically,
have you a
pretty much.
lunch ready to go. So you talked about one of the first things is to make sure you have your why. Then
Yes.
also getting a planner,
Mhm.
and then pretty much putting together a business plan. I might be doing them out of order, and then
Yeah.
so any other must haves.
You need some organization. You need a team. You need a team. So when I say a team, I don't mean staff, because not every entrepreneur can start their business and hire somebody right away. If you can, oh my God, that's a blessing. However, when I say a team, you need a team. You need a graphic designer. You're not a graphic designer. Stay in your lane. Stop trying to figure it out. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I know these little apps that you can make flyers for, and it's dope because I still do it. I still make
Mm-mm.
flyers and all of that good stuff too. So, but if you want to go to professional, right, just hire a professional. Get you an insurance agent, retain you counsel. So when you have issues, you have a legal team. Legal Shield is still out here doing really, really good things. So these are some of the pointers that you need to have. Those are what I mean, like a team member.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a website, get a web developer. You know, get yourself a business coach like myself. That's team. That's somebody that's going to help you and make your life easier so that you can go on to perfect your craft.
Building
So,
good relationships.
absolutely. Networking is 100% the best thing to do out here nowadays. Not just social media, like actually build a relationship with people. But I don't knock social media because I have a lot of connects on social media that I've never met in person, and
Mm-hmm.
they are the bomb. Okay, so it's a
Right.
lot of them out here. Yeah, so that's something that you can do too.
Okay. So I mean, you guys, y'all heard her. Y'all might need to rewatch this so y'all can go back and collect that good information and them gems that she just dropped. But I want to get into this Pretty Woman series apparel
Okay.
that is just
Ooh.
so dope that you released that this year too.
I did. I released Pretty Women series apparel in May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to actually release it last year on my birthday in December, but I just wasn't ready. It just wasn't God's timing for me to do that. So I waited, and then the pandemic hit, and I was still like, should I do it? I felt like I would be really insensitive to drop another business on people who are struggling with this pandemic financially and mentally, not just financially. It was a lot of different dynamics when that type of thing hit. So, but then I said, you know what? I don't know. For some reason, God said it was time, and we created the designs. So I got a team. I got a team.
Back to the team.
And right, and we created a design, and that's so. Let me give you a little background on Pretty Women series.
Because
How
I
this
was going
guy.
to ask you what was your inspiration behind creating the Pretty Women series, because I love it, because the one of the things that I love about the Pretty Women series, you have such a variety, and it's like pretty much a stamp of letting people know, one, why you pretty, and
Right.
how you bossing around here for real.
So, so the meaning behind Pretty Women, and I'll get into the backstory of it. So the Pretty Women series was created to pay homage to the professional woman. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever your profession is, it doesn't matter if you're a cashier at McDonald's. If that's your career, that's your career right now.
Right. Be
So
proud.
you Pretty Women, whatever you do. So right now I have on my Pretty Women Hustle sweater.
One of my
And
favorites.
I wanted to do one that said Pretty Women Hustle because a lot of people have more than one hustle. Like
Mm-hmm.
me, I have more than one hustle. And then I have one that says Pretty Women are entrepreneurs, Pretty Women are CEOs, Pretty Women are whatever you do. Pretty Women are police officers, whatever you do. And the pretty side of it is not based off of looks.
Right.
It's not solely based off of looks. It's based off of that being a woman, women can make things look so pretty when
It's
on the
so
back end
easy.
it's the ugliest thing that you're dealing with. You can put on a game face and everybody just be like, oh, it's so pretty, it's shiny. And you on the other end like, ooh, you don't even understand what I just went through in the background. So,
Right.
and
You make it, we style it up and make it look so easy.
exactly. So, some people can look pretty even if they're going through something physical or anything, so there's an ugly side, and then there's the women who make everything look pretty. Not taken away from the men. This is not to bash men. Men do their thing too.
Right.
This is just what I'm talking about right now. And if the pretty helps somebody feel like that they are building self confidence, then I'm all for that too. But it's not
Okay.
based off of looks. I believe everybody is pretty in their own way, period.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't believe in that. She ugly. I don't believe in that. That's stupid. But I wasn't raised that way anyway. Like you can't call other people ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get into all of that. We won't get into all of that. So that's why Pretty Women series started, and it just kind of went from there. And then I added the Zodiac collection, which is Pretty Women are whatever your zodiac is. So I'm a Sagittarius, so Pretty Women are Sagittarius. So that's a shirt and that's a collection to the line as well. During Breast Cancer Month, it's Pretty Women Wear Pink for breast cancer, and then during May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, there's a
Mm-hmm.
shirt that says Pretty Women Heal. So these are just to pay homage and to try to give back to some of those causes that's out here.
Most
You know,
definitely,
um,
especially with this pandemic, people are really affected mentally
right,
because some people
exactly.
don't adjust to change well. You go from
Yeah,
being
and
outside, being social, to being caught up in the house all day. Not
yeah,
life
you're
is
right about
life is
that.
a little different, and you have to sit in there, and people got to just kind of sit in their shit right now, and
Right,
you don't have no
absolutely.
outlet to get up out of it. So
You're absolutely right. So that's why Pretty Women series, that's how the name came about. But let me tell you the backstory. So the backstory comes from Hotspot Radio. So, for those of you that don't know, I am also a radio host, co-host for Hotspot
Alexis,
Radio.
you,
And
you you're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead because
I'm
we got a
sorry, but
whole thing we got to do with
this is where it
with
came from.
with Hotspot Radio.
This is where it came
I
from.
love it.
And
Go ahead, girl.
this goes back to my super dope co-host DJ Los. Shout out to DJ Los. He on right now. But me, DJ Los and I have a super dope relationship. He's one of my best friends, and it's so funny because we joke around a lot when we in the studio, and so you know I started this thing where it was like Pretty Women Do Radio.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
So it was
that.
like I started this hashtag. One
Uh,
day DJ Los came in and we were playing around. He might not even remember this. He came in and he was like, girl, you so fine, or something he said like that. Like, he was playing around. I was like, because Pretty Women Do Radio. And I was like, oh wait, I like that. So that's so
see, that was
so
one of
that's
them words
how
that you needed to put into your rocket app.
right. Absolutely. So that is really where that resonated from the hashtag from DJ Los always complimenting how beautiful I am, and stuff like that. So that's kind of really where it originated from. And it originated from that conversation into a hashtag, now into a full blown company. So shout out to DJ Los because he really, is the glue behind this.
And
With probably
he was on my show 2 weeks ago. So go to my YouTube. His whole interview about his LP and all of that good stuff is on there. And then so
his,
now that you brought up
his
Hotspot
EP.
Radio,
Absolutely.
what
So
y'all my family all day. But one
yes,
thing that y'all do every year that I think is just so honorable and so amazing is the Adopt a Family, which is still going on. People can still donate, and we're gonna drop all the links for Alexis information, Adopt a Family, the Pretty Girl series. But can you give everybody some background, some information about y'all Adopt a Family project?
okay. So Adopt a Family started 3 years ago with me and DJ Los. We wanted to do something to give back. We love giving back to the community. So we started it 4 years ago. This is the fourth year actually, where we host just a quick giveaway that people have to write in a brief essay to tell us why they should choose their family to win the prize. And what we do is we go through all the letters that we receive and we pick a family and we adopt them for Christmas. They might be going through something. We don't care what they're going through. We just want to be a blessing to that family. And so what we do is we open it up for donations from the public. And, people have been really rocking with us and loving on us and donating to the cause. So this year we have our family picked out. We'll be announcing that very, very soon. and we'll be blessing another family this year. So we give them gifts. Um, there's a catering company that does provide the entire Christmas dinner for them, and we do a couple video. We have a little fun. It might be just a little bit different this year because of the pandemic, though. So we are going to make sure that we do it where it's still fun and a blessing, but everybody is safe at the same time. So it's DJ Lowe's favorite time of the year. Period. Like mine too, but it's just bring out a different passion in you, and
Right.
it comes from the heart. So we really do love giving back
It
to
is a
people. We
blessing to be a blessing, is what I
Yes, we
always
do
like to
not judge
say.
people. We know everybody goes through a lot of things, and with the pandemic, I know that it's a lot of people out here struggling.
Hmm.
So this is going to be even more greater this year because of that.
Right.
So that's pretty much what adopted family is.
Yeah. So
You
with
know,
adoptive family, we will be dropping a link for that, so they can still donate until when.
they can donate until December 15th. Um, 11:59 p.m. So they are allowed to do that. If they're interested in donating, they can always email us housepiradio01 at gmail.com. They can also visit my page or Carlos' page, and the donation link for the Facebook link is on there. They can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at housepiradio01, and they can find out all the information there as well. So, and it'll have all the details. They could just reach out. We appreciate no donation is too small. We don't care.
Most definitely.
We love it
Yeah.
all.
They take all
We
the coins,
appreciate
the
it all.
pennies, the nickels, the dimes, the quarters.
Absolutely. The money that you find on
But
the couch, we'll take it.
it is going to such a great and phenomenal cause. Most
Yes, it is.
definitely.
It
So
is.
make sure y'all go check out my girl Atlenea Beard on your Facebook, which is it's just
Which one? The business or my regular?
both. We got to drop
Oh,
all your information. So
so they can.
for
You guys.
admin service, let's start because you got a lot going on. So we got to start first. Let's stay with. If you need any information in reference to admin service, beard admin services, they will go to where.
They will go to www.beardadminservices.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Beard Admin Services, everything across the board. If you want to just email me, it's info@beardadminservices.com. And as far as Pretty Women series, same thing, Facebook and Instagram, Pretty Women series across the board, or prettywomenseries.com if you would like to purchase anything from the site. So if you want to follow me on my regular page, it's just Atlena Alexis Beard. So that
I
is
think this has
that.
been my longest interview because it was just so much great information, and it's still
It is a
more.
lot of information. It is a
It
lot of
still is
information.
more information that is to be given that we're going to drop next year. Is there any little snippets that you could tell the people of what you got coming up for
Ooh, check Rita
2021?
out. Put me
I
on
mean, I
blast.
said little. I'm saying
No, it's fine. It's
just a
fine.
little bit.
So,
Just not the whole pie. We're gonna wait
all
till
right.
next year, but just a little bit of some things that they can look forward to seeing come across with your company.
Okay, so next year, starting in January, every other Wednesday, I will be bringing back my business segment called the Entrepreneur Chronicles. So
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned for that. Boom, 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 boom. So that'll be giving
A lot
away
of
some good
gems, a lot of
information.
gems.
Yes, a lot of gems with that as well. I also will be launching a entrepreneurial course, a 21-day course.
Okay,
So it will
okay.
be just like a college course, but we won't get into more of that. It's coming.
No, I just
It's
said I
coming.
said this much.
It's coming.
Just that
It's,
much. But no,
it's
I remember
definitely coming.
those Wednesdays. That knowledge that you it's listen. She only give you it be like what 5 minutes or so of the information, but it is so much that you say and that you give in that little bit of information that could just take you on to the next level or something that you just might not know. So it's really really informative.
Yes, it's gonna touch on everything entrepreneur. Period. The pet peeves, the aggravation of it, the love of it, all of that. It's gonna touch on everything. So Stay tuned for that.
Yay!
Stay
I'm so
tuned.
excited. I'm so excited for you again. Congratulations on the 10 years. It's
Thank
about,
you.
I mean, we are out here, we are about building legacies for our families. I always say being an entrepreneur is not for everybody.
No, it's not for
As
the
she
faint
said,
heart.
a lot of people make it look easy, but it is a lot of work. A lot of work
Yes.
that goes into it. But at the end of the day, the freedom, the financial freedom, the freedom of your time, the freedom of working for yourself is so important, and it's just so, oh, it can be overwhelming to be
Yes,
able to
very.
have that personal time back, especially if you have children, if you want to spend more time with your parents, with your family, with your friends, or just going on vacation and not have to be stuck down to someone else's schedule. Because most 9 to 5s, you're only going to get what, 2 weeks of vacation a year.
Hmm.
There's so much of a world out there that you can get with having more free time than just 2 weeks out of a year to
And
go.
that the free time has to be built up. So don't listen to Rita thinking that you just work for yourself and
I
you got
said
all this
after
free
all the
time
hard work, when you
because most of the
I'm
time
talking about
entrepreneurs don't
after
get a
all
day
the
off.
hard work. After all of the hard work. Sorry, don't listen to me. After all of the hard work,
It's a
you'll get
build up. It's a
it
build up.
is. It is. But it's so worth it in the end. I said it's worth it in the end.
It
I said in
is. You're
the
right.
end. I said the hard work first, but it's worth it in the end. But girl, I love you so much. Thank you for coming
I
on.
love you
Thank you
back.
guys
Thank you for having me.
for everybody that joined in, for everyone who gave questions. If you did miss the show, it will be up on YouTube, I think by tomorrow. But if you have any questions, please reach out to her. If you ask me about something, I'm gonna send you to her anyway. So y'all have a great night. I love you guys and see y'all in 2 weeks.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Always.